Hey there, welcome back to ShipCrafter. Time for some bigger guns. I now have access to some really serious firepower. So I'm going to execute a new ship, or rather I'm going to be building a new ship. Let's go for the 40,000 point hull. That should give me a nice baseline. And what are we going to put on there? Well, how about 280mm guns? Now we're getting somewhere. Reload, 17 seconds. Armor, 360mm. These things can take a punch. And that's good, because the enemy just finally starts getting more and more and more dangerous. So I want to have bigger guns, and I actually want to go for a, well, I suppose a relatively traditional warship design this time around. I don't have that much displacement to play with, or that many points to play with, so I might not really have enough to go for what I really want to build. At least not yet. But we may be able to get there a little later. How expensive are these turrets? No, I don't need pressure ballast on that. Thank you. Zoop mode. Come on. Zoop mode. Okay. Super firing turret. What do you mean I need a barbette? If it sits, it's good enough. Now, armor. Armor has definitely gotten an upgrade. I can go to 300mm of armor. That is substantial, and I wonder if I can actually make that work. Because I would need like a pretty hefty main armor belt. There. And I think if I can extend that forward, that'd be great. But I still have to add propulsion and a rudder. So that is going to be rather important to have. Towards the bow, let's taper it off to 200mm. I'm still encountering some fairly lightly armored ships, as well as lightly armed ships. So I'm thinking I might not need tons and tons and tons of armor. At least I'm hoping I won't. Density is really good. So let's see if we can keep that intact, because that means this thing will float fantastically well. Mobility. I have access to the heavy cruiser engine. And not if I use the block replacer tool. Propulsion might be a little minimalist, and same will probably go for propulsion. Oh, sorry, for armament, because I simply don't really have room for a whole lot. Now, these things generate a boatload, 270,000 horsepower. So with that, you can put 2 propellers into the water at decent speeds. Let's go for the large rudders. And now I have about 800 points for additional firepower. These things cost me 750. So, yeah. As much as I'd like, I don't think I'll be able to add any more of those. These things are also new. These have 50mm of armor. No thank you. The 203s have 120. You got different versions of that. You also got 203s with 160mm. And, yeah, no, I think that'll be it for now. We're gonna go semi-broadside and just pummel everything that we encounter. As for our rangefinder, let's go for a large rangefinder. I don't need to have this very large rangefinder. I don't really like the camera height of 100, so I'm not gonna go with that. Okay, I think we're ready. Save that. And let's put it to the test against a Deutschland class and an S100. S100 being one of those small patrol boats. Alright, dude. Ready, set, fire. As long as I stay bow in, I could probably use all the turrets. Now, if you'd be so kind not to move too quickly. Oh, that knocked out 2 turrets. That's the secondaries, so to speak. And there's the primaries. Hits. 17 hits. She's already starting to really go down. I think we might have her, actually. That'd be fast. And again, you're getting shot at by some very serious guns. There is one risk, and it's that little S100, whoa, patrol boat is going to eventually murder me with torpedoes. Okay, you're not a problem anymore. What about you then? Yep, here it comes. Here come the torpedoes. They're jumping out of the water a fair bit. That'll make it a bit difficult to hit. That was a hit. Goodbye. Instant hit, instant demise. Doesn't really need another, well, couple of rounds, but here we are. Okay, we do appear to be listing a fair bit. 14 penetrating shells on us. But hey, nothing that the enemy received was getting blocked, so I'm counting that as a win. Okay, back to the craft. We need more firepower. As for propulsion, I think it's fine. I didn't really take note of how fast I was going, but I think it'll be sufficient. As for the armor, I do feel that maybe the bow? No, I'm not sure it was the bow. Did they go through the deck, perhaps? That could have been it. Shells, especially the bigger ones, aren't as fast, and that means you might need to go for an armored deck. I haven't really worked with those yet, because I simply haven't needed to. But maybe that time is now over. Maybe I'll actually need to go for that. Nope. Remove those. Mirror mode on, please. A couple of layers of that. If I can have 3 of those turrets, that'd be great. I need to be a bit taller. I think 1 more layer ought to do it. Potential to make her top heavy, but as long as I add a bit more armor towards the bottom, which, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to add a whole lot of armor towards the bottom, but I could go with a keel and just push the center of gravity down. That would, however, also take my density away. And I quite like having this low density. Alright, let's go with armor. At least for the funnels, making sure I can have some level of protection for them. I still have a couple thousand points available. Lately, I've been thinking maybe I don't need a whole lot of secondaries. Maybe I don't need that enormous line of 20mm, 30mm, 40mm guns. Because so far, it seems like it just doesn't necessarily add a whole lot. It only makes targeting more difficult. I could hand those off to the AI, though, to make it easier. That could be an option. Okay, can I build there? Yes, good. Box it up. And then I'll probably put the rangefinder on there as well. Just making sure that that thing survives. I don't know if it's ever gone down, though. I'm not sure if it even has anything like a hitbox so that you can actually destroy it. Does it say about that? That's the very large... It has 150mm of armor, supposedly. Oh, there's no room there. Weapons, large rangefinder. There we go. Does this thing have armor? Yeah, 20mm are not a whole lot. Now, of course, the weak spot of this thing is going to be a submarine. If a submarine decides that it wants to party, then I'm going to have potentially serious issues. So that is something that I might need to look into. And, well, trying to protect the ship against submarines is going to be fairly tricky. That will definitely add a whole lot to my displacement, but it might also armor me up enough to make sure I don't take devastating deck hits. Bit more here. This is 150mm of deck armor, by the way. And then maybe a bit more on the belt. I'm not sure how low my waterline extends right now. Density is still 0.42. I've sailed with ships which were far worse than that. So I don't really mind. And keep in mind, the whole interior of this hull is just blocks. It's blocks, 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 blocks. So that's actually really good, because it means that I don't have to worry about going down. My buoyancy is going to be fantastic on this ship. And that probably means that her combat capabilities are also going to be phenomenal. even with heavier armor. Maybe actually, especially with heavier armor. Okay. A bit more on the bow. Let's go a little lower on the bow, because those shells might miss to some extent. Density 0.45. I got my triple turrets. Let's go for secondaries. Secondary 5-inchers, perhaps? 127s. I will hand those off to the AI. So that's all of these. And I get to control the primaries 1, 2, and 3. I have a little bit of displacement left. I could probably put another turret on the stern. Like that. That's going to be my control. And that's my budget gone. Alright, let's see what the next threat's going to be. Another Deutschland and another S-100? No. A Deutschland, an F-class, and a Type 23. I don't want to fight in the night, so we're going to fight during the day. Go to battle. Alright, who would like to go first? You are the biggest threat. Shoot. Turn to port. We're already getting up to 42, 43 knots, so speed is definitely not an issue. One hit. Come to port. Get as many turrets to bear as possible. Shoot. We're already listing over to starboard? Hey, that was a pretty bad hit towards the starboard side. That's interesting, because I do believe I armored that up. Substantially so. Oh, she sent torpedoes before going down. Okay. Switch target, because I think the Deutschland's done. Well, is she? Let's use another burst from the primaries. Maybe we can knock him out completely. Yeah, there she goes. She won't be shooting me anymore. Alright then. One blow from my primaries ought to knock this little thing out. And she's going down. Well, she's thinking about it. She's not going down yet. More. Switch fire. Fire. Couple of hits. Ship going down. Okay. Primary turrets have survived. A and B are fine. C turret, not so much. Okay, I took 22 penetrating hits. Where? The bow? Huh. How about that? The bow needs more armor. Starboard side needs a bit more armor, and port side might also need more, but I don't have more. Oh, 305mm guns. Tell me more. Are those interesting? Because these are 280s. So if I'm gonna go to 305s, just put one on the ship. Oh, no budget. Alright, give me more money. Thank you. 305mm. These things have 360mm of armor, which somehow got penned. And they're 280mm with a 17-second reload. These things have 22-second reload with less armor. Nominal pen 493, nominal pen 449. I don't really like those, actually. Now, the bow took a couple of hits. And it wasn't pretty. This is interesting, because the bow is as heavily armored as can be. I could try armoring up the whole bow. That's 3. Oh, actually, it's not fully armored. I think I put, what, 250s on there? There. As for the sides, I still have displacement left. So let's go with a 150mm belt. Underwater belt. Because, yes, shells might stop the incoming... Or sorry, water might stop the incoming shells, but... We're still taking damage. More so than I'd like, actually. Okay. I'm going to keep the ship as is, because so far she was not at risk of sinking. What is next? Göteborg, Deutschland, Hipper, and Type 1936, or probably another fortress. The Krogstad Süde Lighthouse. Let's go take this thing out, because it should be, like, one hit. Oh, they got some really big guns themselves. At least they won't move. I can. Let's try to be unpredictable, which is more than that fortress can do. Yep. We got one hit. We've also suffered 2 hits. With one hit, that thing's not going to go down. My 5-inch shells are just ricocheting off the fortress. So whatever that is, it's extremely well armored. Even the rest of my shells are ricocheting off of the turrets. Okay. And I thought I could easily take this thing out. Well, I might have been wrong about that. That salvo was shit. We got 5 penetrating hits. Everything else is ricocheted so far. I have lost 1 turret. And I've missed a whole lot. It's not a good look. Come on. Gotta take this thing out somehow. They're also ricocheting off of me to some extent. Boink. Ricocheted off of the bow of the turret. Come on. If all else fails, I can still whip out the submarine. And just get some... Oh, that was good. That went right through. I can whip out the submarine and just torpedo him. I wonder how much armor they got on the deck. It is arguably a little angled now. But it's not stopping anything. Yep, there we go. Fortress down. Own hits. A and B turret are out. C turret's fine. X turret's fine. But the amount of hits that the ship has taken is not pretty. Nevertheless, we have managed to achieve a victory. So it's another 3,000 in cash. And now let's go do battle against the Deutschland and Company. Oh, we actually got a friend. How about that? You, my friend, are gonna take a couple of hits. Let's see where he's going. He's going that way. Give him a bit more lead than you think he needs. He's still accelerating and turning. Missed. Oh, that's a waste. Could have been a really good first salvo. Oh, now they're colliding. That might make him easier to hit. Couple of hits, most of it ricochet, and that's at least a couple of good hits. And they're immediately responding to taking that level of damage. Switch fire, go to the lighter craft now, because I think this thing's done. Well, we could too quick on the draw there. Fire primaries. Let's get it done. Yep. She's going. Next target. I wonder if the 5 inches can take it out. 68, 71 pens. Let's put the primaries to work on it. That ought to immediately destroy it. Okay. Incoming torpedo. Turn. Don't get hit by that. Okay, we're fine. Still have some primary turrets left. Good hits. Own damage seems to be fine. Fire when ready. Next salvo out, and she's not having it. She's gone. All turrets are still functional, at least the primaries are. As opposed to theirs. There we go, engine knocked out. Just for good measure. Did my ally survive? Not really. They're having some issues. They're having some issues. Anyway. Battle 1. I took 34 penetrating hits. Where? Oh, on the unarmored barbettes. Right. That can be helped. 340mm, 1912. No, thank you. That's a bit old. Okay, so what I need to do is armor up the barbettes. Because those are taking serious hits. I can do that. Block replacer tool, mirror mode on. Let's go for 300mm on the turrets. Sorry, on the barbettes, I should say. Here too. If I accidentally color in a bit more, so be it. Here too. Right. Now, what can those new guns do? This one was a 305. Oh, it's actually a 340mm. Wait, 900 tons. Armor 300, so armor still less. Reload 22 seconds. Nominal pen 500mm. Good lord. That's a hefty punch. That's a hefty punch. I don't like mixing up my primary armament though. Because if I do that, there's a really good chance that my aim, especially my auto aim, is going to get thrown way off. Now what I can do is add a whole bunch of buoyancy to the bottom of the boat. To make sure that she can sustain even more hits. And I don't really need this to look very good, I just need it to be there as blocks so that my density goes down. And I can probably add a few more layers without any issues. I wonder what that's going to do to the buoyancy. 0.52. Okay, who would like to go next? A Deutschland, a Hipper, and a 1936. Let's go then. Didn't I just do this one? I think I selected the wrong battle here. That might hit him. Right towards the stern. Yeah, that should, for all intents and purposes, have knocked out a turret, but it didn't. They knocked one of my turrets out. Oh, that's a nice target. That knocked out some turret on their bow, but nothing too critical, I think. Yep, that's good. Prioritize this ship now. Because they're almost out of action as is. My waterline is definitely riding a little higher with all those blocks to the bottom. Turrets are functional. There, it was just reloading. Okay, get those hits in and get rid of that cruiser. Missed! Okay, switch targets. I don't know if that cruiser can still get shots on target, but this guy sure can. That ought to do him in. If I actually hit him. Oh, good lord. Appear to be having some buoyancy issues on the starboard side. And I got torpedo issues to boot. Get wrecked. Thank you. You, my friend, are not gone. Do I still have any primaries left? Yeah, I got all the primaries left, judging by the amount of shells. Now she's going. I'm reversing to try and keep my buoyancy up, and it looks like my ally has done a very good job on this target here. So much so that I might not even need to add in. Oh, I think they hit him with torpedoes. Yeah, they really wrecked my starboard side. But we managed to make it through the battle. So, I quite like these new upgrades. 16 pens. We took 268 shells and ricocheted those off. Nice. Okay, so what is here? A Scharnhorst. Well, well, well. Show me the Scharnhorst. That's not the Scharnhorst. That's the Scharnhorst. Hello. I'm kind of a better Scharnhorst, I think. At least with the level of firepower I can bring to the table. Couple of hits. I think I knocked out one turret. Cost 6 pens. Come on, good volleys. Oh, here it comes. Yep, good hits. Ooh, that damage is quickly adding up on my ship. We need to wreck this thing fast because I'm going down. Ah, missed everything. I don't even know where that second ship's at. Come on. Tell all the crew to move to port side, because my ship's going down. What the hell? I'm still shooting over? Aim really low. Come on, whatever's still functional. What the hell? I'm aiming below waterline, yet I'm not actually getting any hits. This is gonna kill me. Boop, 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 boom, boom. Aim right amidships. They still got some propulsion. Yeah, I think because my turrets are so badly angled, it won't really move. It won't really shoot straight. Okay, let's turn to starboard. Sorry, turn to port. Swing the turret starboard. Shells out. I'm trying to angle the ship a little bit, keeping myself as, well, as much alive as possible. That was 14 ricochets. 1 pen hit. Okay. So that ship, too, is very heavily armored. And I'm still shooting over? What the hell? Let's also send torpedoes. Look at the amount of damage. It's all on the starboard side as well. Oh, come on. I don't understand why I'm shooting up this high. I don't quite get it. Let's remove that rangefinder and install something else. Get me the V-large rangefinder. Thank you. Now, what is going on with, well, taking hits here? I'm gonna go to 250. So that's 250 millimeters of deck armor. Oops. Mirror mode, block replacer, 250. Because I think it's shells coming down that are currently crippling my ship. Now I gotta make sure that I get this side back on. That's the 300 millimeter armor. And then let's go... I got decent buoyancy. Let's go with 200 millimeters. Okay. As for additional buoyancy, I have 5,000. So I could potentially add another couple of layers of buoyancy blocks to the bottom. Given what I'm fighting, maybe that'll keep me in the fight longer. But These few blocks probably won't do that much. Also, where the hell are my props at? Did I just color right over my props? Because I still have propulsion. It's just under... Oh, right. Sorry, that's the bow. Never mind. This is where the rest of the blocks can go. I was wondering what the hell happened to propulsion. Well, I still have it. Just on the other side of the ship. That's not going to work. There, a bit more. And I think I had 3 layers. 4 even. Buoyancy 0.53. Now, firepower wise, I think they leave me little choice. I might need to upgrade to those bigger guns myself in order to pen the level of armor that the Scharnhorst has. But what I might be able to do is just go for double centerline turrets. So let's remove this. Actually, maybe I can keep 1 turret there. These are the 340s. Mirror mode on. Especially as these only have 2 barrels, I will need to come up with some other way to add firepower. Just having more turrets. And going for strict volume of fire by that. Weapons. 340s. Well, yeah, why not? 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layer, 4 layer. Weapons. Nope. Needs 5 layers. Yeah. Right through the rangefinder. Gotta armor those things up as well before they get themselves destroyed and add to my buoyancy in catastrophic amounts. Okay, armor. So these guys are gonna get armored. Especially the front. Buoyancy 0.6. I see buoyancy potentially becoming a problem. Given the rate at which I'm adding armor, and the rate at which I need to add armor, I hope I can still survive. Because having more buoyancy is great. It's a sort of fail-safe. It's a sort of buffer. Oh great, my rudder's above the water. So I added so much weight to the bow. Shoot. Please hit. Because my reload's probably 20-25 seconds at this point. 11 ricochets. All of that ricocheted off of their hull. That is not very promising. They already knocked out a turret as well. Okay, we will need to add more weight to the stern, because I'm getting bow heavy. And it's interfering with many of the ship's operations now. Okay, that's 11 pence. That's good. That really hurt her. She's going down, I think. Yeah, she's going down. There is another ship out there. Oh, ain't you cute. Watch me get sunk by torpedoes now. That'd be a bit of a waste. And too high. No! I don't want to roll over. Kill it. If I can sink you fast enough, I can still kind of win. No. Yeah, she's going down. She is going down. Okay, so we're definitely getting more firepower, but center of gravity is forward far too much, and that will need to get rectified. I'll do that in episode number 9, though. Thank you for watching this one. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you soon for more ShipCrafter.